So we just got some big time news for Halo, and I gotta say, it is a good day to be a Halo fan. Park your cynicism at the door because I'm going to be as optimistic as I can about the reveals here. 343 released a Vidoc outlining the big studio shifts they're undergoing and by effect, the Halo franchise at large. It started with the official announcement that Halo is going to be an Unreal Engine moving forward. Now, at first, that might not mean anything to you beyond, oh, so it'll look pretty. But it goes so much further than that. For context, Infinite was built in the Slipspace engine, a modified version of Bungie's Blam engine, the engine used for every previous Halo game. Even with the modifications made to the old engine, Slipspace was a notoriously difficult engine for creatives to work on, and it meant that developing for Halo Infinite moved at a glacial pace and had a plethora of difficulties, delivering staples of previous Halo games, such as split-screen co-op campaign, which is still missing to this day and has been cancelled, and Forge mode, which took near a year to release. It's also the reason the game doesn't exactly have that Halo-y feel in the physics of the vehicles, guns, character models, and how each interacts with each other. If you've ever played Bungie Halo games, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The shift to Unreal Engine 5 theoretically frees the next Halo games, whatever those are, from all of the shackles that the Slipspace engine had on development. Unreal Engine 5, which is the newest version of Unreal Engine, is also one of the more commonly used engines in game development, meaning that it is much easier for talent to come on board the studio and help development of Halo games. In the Vidoc, released by 343, they described themselves as being kind of a tech company and a studio at the same time, and the game suffered for it. They were kind of split across all kinds of disciplines. The possibilities afforded by moving to Unreal Engine won't be seen for a while, but I imagine this shift is nothing but a good thing. The other big shift, and the one that the Vidoc ends on, is that 343 Industries is no longer 343. They're now known as Halo Studios. Now, forgetting that whack-ass logo, I'm honestly a big fan of this change. It's a bit corny of a name, sure, but the important part is that Halo is the immediate focus. Yes, of course, 343 Industries was always a Halo-specific studio, even if the name more subtly conveyed that. But here, when your average gamer sees Halo Studios, they'll know immediately and exactly what to expect, a new Halo game. At the same time, I'm not an idiot. I understand that this is 100% a way for them to say, we're totally not that company that made those other games, since 4, 5, and Infinite don't exactly garner the most love. However, I think it's valid for them to want to distance themselves somewhat. There have been big shakeups at 343, with seemingly much of the suits gone and a new studio head in Pierre Hintz. This is the guy that led the revitalization of the Master Chief Collection, if any of you remember the terrible state that launched in. Needless to say, I think they got a good captain at the helm of this thing. I think the studio has enough different DNA that they don't exactly deserve the same level of scrutiny as being the guys that developed Halo 4, 5, and Infinite, because truthfully, a lot of them probably aren't. A lot of that team has cycled out and a lot of new blood has come in. Now, amongst all the talking about these shifts, the Vidoc showed what they internally called Project Foundry. And this was a research project implemented to prepare the studio for making the next Halo games. It's kind of like a Halo-focused Unreal Engine 5 tech demo, right? They're just trying to learn the engine, see the power of the engine, see what Halo can look like and feel like in this engine. In the reveal at the Halo World Championship, they mentioned that Project Foundry was never supposed to be public-facing. And I think while on one hand it is them throwing a bone to an otherwise starving community, their willingness to show this also shows the confidence they have in the work they're doing. This is obviously the point of Vidocs like this, but morale seems really high in the studio right now, and I'm sure they're all eager to prove that they are no longer the studio that underdelivered, but one that is going to be pushing the bounds of gaming like Halo used to. Visually, Project Foundry looks absolutely stunning. There's a new studio art director at Halo Studios, and you can tell they want to keep true to the feel of Halo while also utilizing the power of Unreal Engine 5 to make it look the best it ever has. It could be all smoke and mirrors, but it sounds like they have a strong vision of what they want for Halo moving forward, and I think that's something that was sorely lacking in the 343 era of Halo. I personally loved 4, both the campaign and multiplayer, although it was quite different than 3 in reach. I didn't care as much for 5, especially the campaign, although I did enjoy multiplayer and what they tried to do with Warzone, as different as it was. They attempted to return to Halo's roots in Infinite's multiplayer, and that worked wonders, while the open world transition in campaign was a risk that I don't exactly think paid off. My enjoyment of each is wildly inconsistent, and I think that's a pretty common feeling across the community. And that's because they're wildly inconsistent games in their own right. Each game in every aspect, story, multiplayer, art direction, was vastly different, yet they were supposed to together be a follow-up trilogy to Bungie's Master Chief trilogy. There wasn't one cohesive vision moving forward. Ideas were brought in and tossed out haphazardly each successive game in an effort to chase trends and make money, not serve characters, the world, the fans, or the legacy of Halo. They knew they had something special in the Halo franchise, but they had no vision on how to bring it forward beyond Bungie. It seemed like they expected it to carry on off of its laurels alone. From the looks of it, they know that they have to earn the right to bear the Halo name as a studio. They're not trying to repeat the same mistakes and are throwing all they can behind development of not only the next mainline Halo game, but the franchise as a whole. They mentioned expanding the studio with multiple titles in development. Now I know this doesn't always end well, just look at Bungie's recent company growth and the cuts. But we're going to have a puff of hopium here and say that all these titles are going to see the light of day. I imagine one is, of course, the next mainline Master Chief story, whatever form that takes. And I honestly think the rumored Combat Evolved remake has been nothing but bolstered from this showing. It could be nothing, but all of the biomes shown here in the Vidoc as part of Project Foundry are very reminiscent of Halo Combat Evolved levels. The Pacific Northwest being the forests of the Halo ring, the Cold Lands being the snow areas and levels like Two Betrayals, and the Blightlands being the flood-centric levels, though that last one is a bit of a stretch. Master Chief is looking like he was ripped straight out of Combat Evolved, and the elites and the singular Banshee flyover are sporting the Covenant purple. There's no sign of the red hues of Infinites and Halo Wars 2's banished. That could be nothing, very true, but they showed this off when they did for a reason. Something's got to be coming in the next few years. They cannot let Halo, one of their mainline franchises, just sit idly. And Combat Evolved's 25th anniversary is coming up in 2026. And I know game companies love their anniversary releases. With Xbox branching out its lesser franchises to other platforms like PlayStation, what better way to bring Halo to PlayStation than the way Xbox players first played it way back in 2001, except now with a shiny new coat of paint. Imagine a 25th year anniversary Halo Combat Evolved remake releasing on Xbox and PlayStation. That would be crazy, right? And if Unreal Engine 5 does prove to be as good of a jump as they're acting like it is, like, man, just imagine the possibilities. Imagine what that could be like. Also, I know not everyone loves Combat Evolved Anniversary. I personally did. That was 10 years on from Halo Combat Evolved. So imagine 25 years on. God damn, we're getting old, Halo fans. But imagine that. Man, like, ooh. I think that would be the perfect way to restart the franchise, with the next Master Chief story coming soon after, with an all-new audience to reach. All of that's mostly just me dreaming of what could be, but I think we're finally allowed as Halo fans to dream again. We've stuck by Halo through thick and thin, and damn has it been rough at times, but if you're anything like me, these games are in my blood, and I'd love to see Halo reach the heights we all know it can again. And since we can dream again, they mentioned third-person firefight is coming to Infinite. Please, God, just make a Helldivers or Warhammer-like Halo game where we're fighting the Flood. Please, please, please. And I saw that Halo Wars 2 art in the back of the Vidoc. Shipmaster Anders, I see you. They ain't forgot about you, and neither have we. I know it can be a knee-jerk reaction to say Halo is back, but I'm a believer. I think the changes announced today point to a bright future for the franchise. Gotta be cautiously optimistic, sure, because none of these changes themselves mean that good Halo games are coming. But I do believe each and every developer is going to give it their all to make Halo the best it can be. And I think for the first time in a while, they're actually set up for that success. In the reveal, they mentioned chapters of Halo. That being Bungie's Halo, 343's Halo, and now Halo Studios' Halo. Well, I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm excited to see what this next chapter holds.